Welcome to Unconventional Success, where we are rewriting the rules for female solopreneurs. I'm your host, Tiffany Dawson, a business and mindset coach. I help women who value freedom to earn the income they need to facilitate the lifestyle they want. I'll share interviews with successful female founders and my own tips on how to build a bulletproof mindset, make your own rules for your reality, and think strategically about your business so you can earn free-flowing revenue while spending quality time with your family. Remember, you can do life and business in a totally unconventional way and be wildly successful at the same time. The only person you need permission from is you. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Unconventional Success Podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany Dawson. If you're new here, welcome. It's really great to have you here. We talk all about being a mother as an entrepreneur and all the joy and challenges that brings, but also just kind of normalizing these challenges and normalizing big success as well. I think that is the biggest thing I've learned over my last 4 years of running a business is that when you're a business owner, it can feel really isolating. You can feel like you're all by yourself. You might feel like you're the only one going through all of the stuff that you are, but actually it's normal. It's normal to get ghosted by clients. It's normal to have someone tell you your prices are too expensive. It's also normal to make a lot of money in a month. And I think the more that we can talk about the challenges and the wins that happens as an entrepreneur, the more we can be like, okay, this is not just me going through it. And also, if it's normal to have great success, then I can do it too. So there's a little thought for you before we start with today's episode. Now today, so I'm recording this on the Wednesday. So as of time of recording, we had our Overflow Collective guest expert session today, and that was hosted by Lucy. You might have heard her podcast interview with me a few months ago, I'm going to say. She's a mindfulness expert and she's a coach helping professionals who are wanting to grow their confidence and be more mindful in their jobs. But I think that a lot of the topics she speaks about is so relevant to business owners as well, which is why I asked her to be our guest expert this month within my community for entrepreneur mothers, Overflow Collective. And she talked a lot about, so the title of the talk was How to Believe You're Good Enough, which I think is just so crucial and vital to being a business owner, right? Like when you don't believe you're good enough, that really rubs off onto all of your marketing material, how you show up on social media, how you show up to serve your clients. And if you can't get your mindset in that place of, I am good enough, and I really truly believe this without any external validation, it's like just something I inwardly believe, then it's going to show and people are going to think twice about working with you. So it's just really eye-opening to have that discussion today within the Overflow Collective. And some of the things she talked about were just mind-blowing. So if that's something that you're interested in, when you become an Overflow Collective member, you get access to all of the past calls, including all of the past expert sessions, which is huge. So if that's something that you're interested in, please do go ahead and join us or send me a DM if you've got any questions. I'll leave the link to how to join in the show notes. But today I wanted to talk to you about something that I haven't created a better name for, but it's what I call no-think structures. And maybe the name kind of tells me I maybe could have spent longer thinking about the name, but no-think structures that really keep me on track with business and mindset. And the thing that prompted me to record this episode was that actually today I was feeling quite ill in the morning. I'm feeling a little bit better now, still a little bit weird in being able to regulate my temperature. But yeah, my son was ill last night. He'd woken up at 5 in the morning and was just like a koala on me. He wouldn't let go, and I was also ill at the time. So yeah, what can you do? You just kind of have to muddle your way through. But this morning, luckily, he went to nursery. He was fine with that, meaning I could rest. The perks of being an entrepreneur, being able to just take time off whenever you need to without having to ask for someone else's permission. But yeah, I was just kind of lying in bed feeling quite sorry for myself. And I think that something happens sometimes when we're ill. We just start really, well, for me anyway, really questioning what are we doing with our lives. And maybe it's because it's one of the rare times you get to actually lie down and do nothing and think about nothing. So I don't know. I had quite a lot of thoughts this morning of, oh, what am I doing with my life? Am I doing the right thing? Am I actually excited about anything in life? And, don't get me wrong. I am loving what I'm doing in business and I am getting excited about stuff. But these are the questions that I hadn't asked myself in a very long time that came up during this time of me lying in bed. So, yeah, I kind of felt quite low this morning, to be honest, which is quite rare for me. I do a lot of mindset work and I'm generally quite a positive, optimistic person anyway. So to have this happen this morning was, quite strange for me. I guess I'm quite fortunate in that sense. But what I was really grateful for was that I did have this Overflow Collective call that Lucy hosted for us. And it was just something that was already in the calendar. And, it was a no think structure. It's already in my calendar each month that I've got these 2 Overflow Collective calls. And it's already integrated into my life or my calendar that keeps me in that CEO mindset. So no matter what's happening in my life, so this morning it was illness and feeling quite low mentally and energetically, this was already in my calendar. It was a no think structure that was going to happen anyway. And actually, I knew that as soon as I attended this session, I would come out of it feeling inspired, refreshed, feeling like I had connected with other women who really understand me. And that was a really good lesson for me that this is so important. Like the work that I'm doing with creating Overflow Collective is so important. It's not just creating a space for women to connect with each other. It is really creating those automatic no think structures for these women so that even despite whatever is going on in their lives or in their families or in their businesses, they know that these are the 2 times each month that they're going to feel inspired. They're going to connect with other women. And I really felt that today myself. So I guess it got me thinking as to what other no think structures I have in place. So I want to share them with you. So, I guess one of the things that seemingly doesn't have anything to do with business, but really does, is blocking out times in my calendar to go to the gym or to do exercise. So I only recently joined the gym, but I have in my diary at the start of each week what times I think I'm going to be going. But not just that, I also write down what I'm going to be doing each time. So it becomes a no think structure, meaning I just go. I just go, I know what I'm doing, I just go, do it, and then come back. Rather than thinking, oh, what time today will I have time to go to the gym? And then getting there and thinking, okay, what am I going to do? And maybe wasting time or maybe not working out as efficiently or effectively as possible. So that's an example of something that I do. And I guess this kind of removes some of that mental load. I've already decided for the whole week at the start of each week. I don't have to keep questioning and deciding as the week goes along. I don't have to think about it anymore. I just go. The other thing that is so, so important in my life is having a cleaner for our house that comes every 2 weeks. And I know I'm very privileged to be able to have a cleaner for my house, but honestly, it is something that removes so much mental load, meaning I have more mental space and time and energy to work on my business rather than thinking, oh, when am I going to clean the bathroom? When am I going to mop the floors? I still haven't done this yet, but I need to record a podcast today. So again, that's just a no-think structure. They come at the same time every 2 weeks. I've got that blocked out in my calendar. So I know that on those mornings, I will go out to a cafe and work, and I'll come back and the house is clean. Amazing. I also, another no-think structure is that I have put a calendar reminder in my calendar each month to remind myself when to pay myself and submit payroll. The thing is, over the last year, there were a couple of months that were missed, and I had to get my accountant to fix it and pay a late fee. So I was like, I don't want to do this again. It just is so painful when you have to pay a fee for something that is totally avoidable. So yeah, I've got that in my calendar. Again, that is a no-think structure. I've blocked that time out. I know it's only like a 5-minute thing that I have to do each month, but I've set that as a meeting with myself where I do that each month. Again, I just don't have to think about it, just do it. Something that really does help keep me inspired and motivated is that I have a call with one of my business besties every 2 weeks. And there is a little bit of thought involved. She doesn't have a very regular timetable with her work. So we do have to kind of think every 2 weeks, okay, when is the best time to catch up? But it's a structure that it's a bit of organization that's shared between the two of us. So I don't feel the full responsibility of organizing it. But I know that having those regular conversations with someone at a similar stage in business who goes through the same ups and downs as me. We knew each other before we had businesses, so we are very close and have been through this business journey together over the last 4 years, and that's really, really special. I'm very, very grateful for her. I just know that every 2 weeks when I chat to her, if I'm feeling good, I get to share that energy with her if she's feeling low, and vice versa. And we really help each other because our businesses are quite different and similar in some ways. But yeah, we're just able to share different perspectives and different ideas. I think that the way that she thinks about business is quite different to mine. So we really complement each other. So again, I just know that this is the type of regular event that happens without me really having to think about it too much. That really helps me with my business. If I didn't have these things, I think that I would spend a lot of time muddling along rather than just knowing, okay, this is when I'm going to get this boost of energy. Something that is a no-think structure for my clients is actually hiring me. So for example, I've got one of my Voxer only clients. She worked with me privately for a 3-month coaching package beforehand, and she was like, I do want to continue coaching, but I really valued the Voxer support in between. Yeah, I think I want to go ahead with continuing on with Voxer only. And she knows that I will be there each week asking her questions to prompt her to pause and think rather than just rolling on with her life. So this week, what did she say to me? I messaged her saying, okay, well, what's your plan for going ahead with this challenge? She was going through a challenge, and I was like, okay, what do you think you need in order to overcome this challenge? And she typed a response with all these dot points, and I was like, amazing. It sounds like you have a really good plan to follow. Go and do it. She messaged me back saying, I just want to confess that the plan I sent you, I actually only just came up with it as I was writing to you. It wasn't like a plan that I already had. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I'm here for. I prompt you with the questions that you already have answers to, but now because I've asked you, you're forced to think about it and tell me. So another really good way to get those no think structures in place is either having an accountability buddy or a coach or someone who just, maybe it's a coach who you catch up with every couple of weeks or every month. So it kind of forces you to have that time and space to think, or you might sign up for something like Voxer Only, where you just know I will be there to ask you questions, to dig deeper, so that you are always more self-aware than you would be if you were thinking through it alone. There is a no think structure that I haven't yet put in place, but I am really keen to do. I did an Instagram live with Jen, who is a money coach. So she was a financial advisor. Now she helps mums who are entrepreneurs to manage their finances more effectively. Go ahead and have a look at that Instagram live. It was a really, really good conversation. The very end, though, she shares her most effective tip that's helped her clients immensely. And that is, she's got this approach where she helps her clients to create separate bank accounts for separate things. I was like, that is genius. So, for example, she'll have the main bank account where all of her income comes into, and then other bank accounts for different pots of money. So one is for tax. I've always struggled with, how do I separate that? And she's like, well, just get a different bank account. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So as soon as she gets someone paying her, she'll just section off a portion of that for tax. So 20 to 30% into tax. She'll also section off a certain percentage for personal development. So if it's something like saving up for coaching or books or courses and all of that kind of stuff that we like to spend money on as business owners. And she had a few more examples as well. I need to kind of re-listen to our conversation, but I feel like that is such a good approach to finances where you just don't have to think about it. It just happens automatically. So every time you're kind of going to spend money from your business bank account, you're not trying to calculate, okay, how much do I need to leave in here for tax? How much do I need to leave in here for this coach I'm saving up for? It's just done already. Like, whatever's in there is okay for you to use. And I've got two more. So one is that when I am launching something new, so either creating a new lead magnet, a new course, or a new coaching package, I will announce the date that it is being launched before I'm ready. So I'll announce it on this podcast, I'll announce it on Instagram and LinkedIn, because this means that I've got something to work towards. And this is a no-think structure, because if I didn't announce it, I think that I would continually change the date. If I didn't have that accountability that I force myself to have by announcing it publicly, I will keep saying, oh, but I could tinker with this, I could make this look better, XYZ. But I just know as soon as I announce it, I have a hard deadline to work to. And then that just means I don't have to think about it anymore. I don't have to continue considering it. And the final one that I want to share with you is a really simple one, but I can see that so many coaches don't do this, is that with my clients who pay me monthly, so with my coaching packages, you can either pay upfront or monthly, and or some of my coaching clients, they actually have worked with me before, say, I would just like to work with you once a month, or for my Voxer clients, they pay me monthly as well. For my clients who pay me monthly, I set up a recurring invoice through my accounting software, which is Xero, so I don't have to remember to chase them up. So I've worked with coaches before where, like, as in I've hired coaches for myself, where I just have to pay them into their bank account each month. But the thing is, firstly, I have to remember to do that. And it's kind of like, there's an extra step involved for me, but also for that coach, they have to remember each month, okay, has Tiffany paid me on this date? If not, I need to follow up. So I had a coach recently who would often follow up on the wrong dates. So I can only imagine how, like, I know it's a little thing, but if you've got several clients throughout the month, that's just not something that I personally would want to have to think about. I just want to know that the invoices have gone out at the right times, and that if they're late paying, then an automatic reminder would get sent out to them. I don't need to have to think about that. I hope this has been interesting to you and has prompted you to think about, firstly, what no-think structures have you already got in place that you should continue doing, but having a think of some new no-think structures that would be really useful to you in removing some of that mental load so that you can be more effective in the things that you do want to use your brain for. And if this has been interesting to you and you're wanting to create some anchors and no-think structures into your business and your mindset to support your business, I would really encourage you to have a think about whether you would like to join us in Overflow Collective. This is the best no-think structure ever, because you just know that there are these dates in the diary each month where we will catch up, and you will be connected with all these other women who are going through the same thing as you, who are trying to build businesses, wanting more time and freedom, wanting to grow and scale their income, so that every single month there's chances and opportunities for you to get that motivation and inspiration injection into your mindset so that you can grow your business. Otherwise, it is this thing of having to seek that out for yourself and really make time for that, which also works. But yeah, if you are wanting to have that circle of women in your life, that no-think structure of being able to meet up with them on a regular basis and having that support throughout the month through Slack, come and join us. The link is in the show notes, and we would love to welcome you in. Otherwise, this is all I've got for you today. I hope this has been helpful. Come and send me a DM if you've thought of any new no-think structures that you are going to take on board. Instagram's a really good place to get a hold of me. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I'd be so grateful if you could help me spread the word that this podcast is here to help other female solopreneurs just like you. Please give this podcast show a rating and review wherever you listen to podcasts, and subscribe if you'd like to see when future episodes come out. If you have any questions about the topic spoken about today, I'm always happy to answer your questions. Come and find me over on Instagram at @TiffanyDawson_ and shoot me a DM. I'd love to help. Until next time, take care.